Operation Rising Tsunami is an epic mission that takes place on the Ignis map and makes full use of the space. We start off by capturing Harmony Sands. I'll take an Ibis and take off from this dynamo. Our first target is going to be this Shard Corvette, and he's already in range, so those missiles of ours won't hit, but they might help saturate the air defense, or at least keep it distracted from firing at our friends. Then we're going to rearm at a Shard Corvette of our own. Doing this keeps the dynamo flight deck open for teammates who might want to spawn there, although the Shard flight deck might be a little more difficult to land on, which will be an issue.
Raise gear.
This mission took about 2 hours, and I'm going to include the entire thing, but I'm going to speed up the footage when nothing is happening. Okay, here we go. Now we got it. Here it is. Oh! Up. This happens to a lot of guys when they try to land a helicopter on a moving boat. It's not a big deal. It's fine. Just get the thing. Just put the piece of fruit, and it's as simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. They stuff a fresh box of missiles into me, and I'm just going to shoot them all at that shard again and land and rearm. I really like how naval missions sort of devolve into running laps of landing and launching. It's great practice. And I'm too lazy to push on my rudder pedals, so I just try to fly backwards, but as you can see, the lack of vision really hinders me. Would have been a lot easier to just turn and circle around and spot the landing.
VRS.
Like a glove. Now that that shard is down, the threat environment is very much reduced. It's basically a free-for-all at Harmony Sands. I'm going to be a bit more discerning and pick out targets. We need to eliminate anything that can threaten my Ibis when I try to land my troops, and anything that will stop the capture process. We don't need to destroy hangars or ammunition bunkers, and in fact, it's actively detrimental to us if we do. Destroying hangars can result in fires that will kill us when we try to spawn there, and destroying the ammunition bunkers can deny us nuclear warheads that we could have captured. I often see people destroying hangars and ammunition bunkers when they don't need to. Don't do it. We're gonna capture that. Leave it intact. And I forget to fire one missile. Why not just loose it at the carrier? Why not? Why didn't you do that? Why do you not need to do that over to shoot the missile?
Raise gear. VRS.
Okay, this time for real. This is the good one. This time I'm just gonna land on the shard and just land and just set her on and just put her on down and just set her and just nice and easy, just set her on in there. And it's as simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, missions like this are great practice for naval landings, and as you can see, I need a lot of practice. But that's going to be my last one for this phase of the operation. I'm just going to land my troops at Harmony Sands. There's no ground units or emplacements left. My door guns can take out enemy aircraft as they take off, which I love. That's one of my favorite things about this game. The only thing that could cause us trouble is the enemy aircraft carrier is still there. And that won't really be a problem for me. It'll just keep us from capturing. But it should be gone by the time we arrive. It's got our whole team shooting at it, so it shouldn't be a problem for long. These door gunners have to change belts. They don't just magically get plugged into the entire store of ammo in the helicopter. That would be funny if they were like Lady and the Tramp spaghettied together and then they end up kissing. The place I like to land to capture Harmony Sands is nestled in here by these apartments. It's sheltered from any threats. The aircraft carrier can't shoot us. Enemy aircraft will have to take off and circle around to get us, and they'll be vulnerable to both our teammates and our door gunners while they try. And of course I gotta have the door down while I land. Give the boys a view, know what I'm saying? Give them some give them some know what I'm saying? And I think I forgot something. Let me just, real quick here, Yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like. You didn't see that. Nobody saw that. And it's not capturing because the enemy aircraft carrier is still there. A pair or a couple pairs of auger bombs would kill it instantly, and I know my teammates have Ifrits, so I thought they'd have it dead by now. My AGM-48s won't do much to it, but they'll do even less sitting in the launcher inside my helicopter, so los. I'm sure the people living in these apartments appreciate the excitement. We're keeping the rent low in Harmony Sands right now. We're preventing a housing crisis one sortie at a time. Alright, now we have a ground base. We can use ground-based aircraft. The next phase is capturing the surrounding islands, but I'm just going to rescue these pilots real quick and then see where we're at. I love rescuing pilots. I love using the cargo hook. You may have noticed I have the USMC CSAR skin on the Ibis. I always use that skin. I love being a little Logi pilot on a big dangerous battlefield and scurrying around like a little rat while the big strong fighter planes shoot each other with giant missiles. Well, I'm getting agitated. I better calm down.
VRS.
To pick up anything with the cargo hook, you must be less than 20 meters off the ground, and you'll see that circle appear in the center of the HUD. That represents the extra rope, which is extra distance, so you put the target marker inside that circle, and it will be hooked. And if you're moving too fast when that happens, they will die. RIP. If a pilot is on the ground, you can also just land near them. I think the distance is a little over 100 meters, so fairly generous. I decided to swag this guy up with the rope anyway, though. Alright, the next thing that needs to happen is taking care of this enemy fleet. They're constraining the battle space right now. Getting rid of them will free us up to operate here. I'm going to take a vortex with scimitars on the wings and PAB 125 gravity bombs in the internal bays. This is one of my favorite loadouts in the whole game. If you use the single weapon pylons on the wings, then after you fire them, you'll have the same radar cross-section as if you took off completely clean, from what I've read. And one load of the small 125 bombs can kill a shard if you use them right, getting as close as possible and as fast as possible. One mission per ship is an acceptable amount of efficiency for me. If you try to spread them out, then they might all get shot down and you'll do 0 damage. So just take off, find some targets for your scimitars, and send them. And then you'll be stealthy and you can get on with your bombing mission. This kind of multi-role mission can help guarantee that you're at least accomplishing something with a sortie. If the air part or the ground part of your sortie gets scrubbed, at least you'll have the other part to help salvage your profit. Being at maximum stealth in the vortex, you can pretty much sneak around and get super close to your targets, as long as there's not a Medusa in the air. But guess what? The scimitar is the perfect weapon for Medusas because of its home on jam capability. So definitely prioritize any Medusas that you see. And those shards are already gone. And there's already teammates hot on the destroyer. He's going to be dead without any help from me. I'm going to find a better target. I'm thinking about helping clear out the bunkers on Bifurca. 125 bombs do a great job on those bunkers. But we've got attack choppers hot on them too, so that's not a good mission for me either. I don't want to steal targets from those guys in the choppers, flying the whole way there, just for some supersonic asshole to blow them up in their face. These air defenses at the production facility are a perfect target for my gravity bombs in my vortex. They've got IR SAMs and AA guns, but I can kill them for free. If you climb above 10,000 meters, you'll be out of the range of the IR SAMs, and if you drop the bombs directly down on top of the AA guns, they won't be able to elevate their barrels enough to protect themselves. So those IR SAMs and SPAG guns are going to be completely defenseless to my attack if I do it right. And then my teammates can destroy that production facility at their leisure. I'm not going to bother targeting anything that isn't an air defense. All the easy targets can be left to my teammates to mop up. And I accidentally climbed way higher than I meant to. I think this is the highest I've ever been without flaming out. Let me just level off real quick and try to keep my engine lit. I think idling it might make it flame out easier, but I do want to cut thrust to limit my climb rate, so I'm trying to balance that, and I end up saving it, to my surprise. Six targets, 12 bombs, that's 2 each. There could have been a more efficient way to do this. It might not have been necessary to drop 2 bombs each. I was worried that the SPAGs could protect each other and some might survive. So I'm going to do 1 drop directly at each end of this group, and hopefully they'll all die even if they do intercept some of my bombs. And it keeps me from having to redesignate targets in the middle of my dive, which I would definitely fumble, and all of my bombs would miss and my pants would fall down. We were around Mach 1.6 when we released, still around Mach 1.5 as we pull out, and we can outrun those SAMs. If you stay at max burner and climb and turn, you can bleed their energy and outrun them. And that's 6 targets dead. That's a good sortie for me. I've still got over half my fuel. I usually stay at full burner unless there's a reason I need to slow down. Sorties don't last that long in this game. I'm gonna buzz this bunker and hit him with my cannon for no real reason. Morale, I guess. Cannons and machine guns used to be very overpowered against structures, but I'm glad to say they've been rebalanced and now feel more appropriate. This gun run is gonna do about nothing to this bunker. And now I'm just gonna RTB and run it back. I'll do another sortie with the same loadout, so I won't even get out of my plane. I'm just gonna set down on a carrier and let them hot, rearm, and refuel me. They're super quick too. These guys are Formula 1 pit crew with the missiles and bombs. The ECM honk honk to say hi as I pass a friendly. I cut the throttle and stay supersonic as I pass the carrier. The Vortex is great at losing
Raise
speed in
gear.
high angle of attack turns. It can really slam on the brakes, which helps you get on the ground quickly. And I'm a little high, so I'll just do a little vertical slip. And come in sideways for swag. Deal with it. Rearmed, refueled, let's highball. First thing, find some targets for our scimitars. This Revoker has a friendly on him, he doesn't need our missile, he's gonna die already. Let's check out this Medusa, he's dead already. There's a missile on him. Alright, this Revoker can catch my scimitar. Fox 3 on him. I don't want to shoot at this compass. There's a lot of hungry fighters over there already. There's some targets around Feldspar. Let's take a look. I'll turn my radar on to try to spot them. And I'll fire at these two. One of them's on the ground, so that's not going to track. But I do really want that Medusa to die. Planes on the ground are great targets for air-to-ground munitions, but that area is really well defended right now, so I'm not going to be able to kill them. Sad face. That traffic jam at Feldspar is so juicy. I just want to bomb them all, but I can't. He survived my scimitar. Looks like he lasered it. And there's another scimitar on him already, but let's give him a deadly dilemma and help make sure he dies. Missile's gone, radar off, it's bombing time. It would be great to kill these radar SAMs, and they're already jammed. There's no chance of this working, but I'm gonna send it anyway. I'll find out later in the mission, but there's tons of laser defense in that area. But I get credit for killing that Medusa, so it's a successful sortie anyway. All the boss cares about is checking that box.
Raise gear.
I was gonna try to just get rearmed here, but I ended up snapping off a wheel, so I just ended my sortie here. So let me take a look, what do I want to do next? I would capture hogs, but I see someone is already on the way to do that. I guess I'll take a brawler and attack the ground targets in Feldspar City. This is how I always set up my brawler. Eyeballs on one wingtip, IRMs on the other, and all AGM 68s. This isn't the most efficient loadout. A mixed loadout can definitely be more efficient, but since we only have one button to change weapons, I like to minimize the number of different weapons I carry. I can just find 16 targets, press the trigger once, and then RTB. I'm ranging out my eyeballs, I'm looking at targets and the map, and comparing the range of my eyeball missiles. I want to scout the whole airport and city with my 2 eyeball missiles, and a teammate is asking, can someone scout the city? Yeah, buddy. Coordination, cooperation, teamwork, divide and conquer, defeat in detail, OODA loop, initiative, honor, courage, commitment. Yeah, I'm about to shoot some eyeballs over there. So once the farthest end of the airport is in range of my eyeball missiles, I free fire them with no target. I don't want them to crash into something, I want them to go as far as they can, and I want them to be the lowest intercept priority. I fire the far one first, and aim the other over the city. Alright, this area is getting hot. I do have a Medusa watching my back, but that's no guarantee. And there's a lot of defenses here, so if I fire 1 missile each at 16 different targets, I might hit nothing. I'll go ahead and just dump my missiles, and maybe by concentrating them, some of them will get through. And they all get intercepted, and I hit nothing. But the scouting was a huge success, and my wiser teammate is able to target the lasers with their Tusco semi-ballistic missiles. So the mission was actually a success. find the Brawler a bit difficult to land. It kind of handles like a pig. It doesn't respond great at landing speed. It handles weird with the speed brakes in versus out, or out versus in. This has nothing to do with my poor judgment in deciding on a short, unstabilized final. Like a glove? Hey man, it was like that when I got it. Look at my pre-trip report. Main gear missing. Fuselage bottom damage. It's in the pre-trip inspection report, dog, I swear. You guys lost my pre-trip report? Why do I fill it out if you're gonna lose it? Hey, don't try to blame me because you lost the paperwork. Look, just fix it, okay? We're all here to do the same thing, to accomplish the mission. We don't need to be blaming each other and getting each other in trouble. Just give me a good plane so I can go do my job, okay? I guess I'll take a tarantula and go capture Broken Atoll. There's already a teammate taking a tarantula over there, but let's make it a two-ship flight. SAM truck in the back, cannon in the front, ECM on each side, a nice amount of fuel. I think someone must have killed these laser defenses already. I just saw the map said something about them. I really should have been targeting the AA guns first, but I wanted to make sure if the lasers were there or not, so I ended up not being very efficient about prosecuting this area.
Stall.
An undetected AA position is lighting up my flight leader. Let's see if I'm quick enough to save them. Nah, they dead. Oh well, that's why we sent two.
Raise gear. Raise gear.
And those are tracers. We're taking fire. Let's get out of here. Must have been another undetected AA position.
Rear left engine failure.
One engine dead and another damaged. 2.5 engines is plenty to fly on.
Stall.
If I can get out of range and kill that guy, and if that's the last one, then I can capture this airfield and land there. I will be glad to bring this aircraft home without it getting destroyed. It would have been smart to maybe do a high-speed, low-altitude pass in a stealth jet to recon this base, or else fire some eyeball missiles at it. I guess I was hoping that had already been done.
Stall. Raise gear.
If your MFD displays are out, you can check if the gun is on target by seeing if the crosshair floats. If the crosshair is floating freely, then it isn't being constrained by its limits, which should mean it's on target. If the crosshair
Stall.
was moving rigidly with the airframe, that would mean that the barrel is at its limit of traversal, which means it isn't on target.
Stall.
I'm dropping flares here in hopes that this friendly revoker pilot will decide not to use this taxiway right now. Alright, what should I do next? Everything's under control over here. Somebody says they need construction vehicles at the helicopter base. I'll go do that since I'm just looking for a job right now. So I'll just load up my Tula with 2 jackknives and take off real quick. What is happened? Bro, why are you inside of me right now? Why are you being sus and pause? I mean, no, it's not that. It's just not the time for it. We're in the middle of a mission is all. And I have trouble flying in the third-person camera facing backwards. Another thing I need to practice. It's fine, I'm just dropping off these jackknives. And looking around, I noticed that the helifob could use fuel and ammo too, so that pilots can quickly rearm and refuel. And Fletcher McGee says, could you drop those in the city instead, so we can refuel and rearm even closer? Buddy, you don't even know. I have been waiting my whole life to hear those words. Yes, I would love to build a fart that someone would use. I want the SAM truck to come out first to provide security, and then the ammo container. I'm approaching the landing zone, I'm following Fletcher McGee, and I'm not looking out for this revoker that explodes him right in front of me.
Stall.
Now I just want to get down as soon as I can and get this SAM truck out. So I get the SAM truck out and I think he ends up doing nothing ever. Oh well, I'd rather have it and not need it, I guess. Remember what I said about being bad at flying in third-person camera? Now I have 3 engines and 3 props. The Tarantula can actually share power, just like the Osprey. So if you've lost engines
Rear
but
right
still have
engine
the
failure.
props, it won't be unbalanced, just underpowered. Pretty cool, huh? But anyway, I need to limp home. It's a little janky, but I get there. Off screen, my friends are killing that revoker, but I am solely focused on flying this unbalanced brick. And the second trip goes much smoother with another SAM truck and a fuel tank. This time I'm watching this compass approach. And I'll light him up as we crest the ridge. Splash 1 compass trying to destroy my beautiful fart.
Stall.
And there's McGee already rearming in the town, cutting a couple minutes each way off his sortie turnaround. OODA loop, operational tempo. Next time he's gonna have fuel too. I don't know why I put my engines level, but they prop striked when I went over that curb, and now they won't drive the front propellers. We're gonna have to scuttle this ship, sadly. Oh, my AA truck shot down a dark reach. I guess that's not nothing. How do you even do that? Man, I don't even... Oh, alright. And next, I guess I'll take a chicken and check out the city. I'll bring some eyeballs and the rest all AGM-48s. A very inefficient loadout.
VRS.
And for some reason, this manpad emplacement is not dying, and I'm taking it personally. I feel like I should be hitting it. So I'm just gonna get closer and closer and keep shooting it. But I'm not doing a great job of staying out of trouble right now. And now I've got a limp home on one engine. That's fine, I got this. Four flares left, yeah, that's fine. This is fine. This highway is actually going to help me out a lot. By using the ground effect, it takes less engine power to keep me in the air, so I can use more engine power to go forward, so I can go faster.
VRS.
Like a glove! And it's as simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. Limped all the way home on one engine. They wasted a little bit of my time, but they didn't cost us an airframe, and that's what matters. Our mechanics can get this thing patched up and turned around quicker than you can navigate the deployment menu.
Stall.
Bro, this freaking man pad right here, I swear to God, dude, I'm gonna
Stall.
freak out.
Raise gear. Stall.
Man, this operation started before dawn, and now it's sundown, and we're like half done. All day ass mission. Next, I get the bright idea to build another FARP over here by the bridge, and this turns out to be useless. It's a pretty vulnerable area to try to land and take off when you're out of weapons and flares and fuel. The small island just to the north would be a better spot. In fact, some missions have a VTOL base there. But it was good practice for me. And on the way, I got to dogfight some compasses, and even killed one.
Stall. Stall. Stall.
Incoming Fox 2. I think I flared it off though. I should be safe. Oh, hey buddy, what's the idea? You scratched my beautiful blue dazzle paint job.
Rear left engine failure.
My tarantula is a flying tank. It is unshoot downable. I never doubted it for a second.
Stall. Raise gear.
And my AT truck ends up getting an aircraft kill. That was unexpected.
Stall. Raise gear.
And like a glove, I am the greatest pilot that was ever born. I'll take my vortex with my standard vortex loadout. And do some precision maneuvers on the takeoff roll here. Very cool. Definitely didn't almost lose us 3 airframes there.
Stall. 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 Raise gear. Stall. 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 Raise gear. Stall. Raise gear. Stall.